guys, so today we're going to be talking about contour lines. And if you can remember way back to the beginning of the year, we talked about blind contour line drawing. Remember that was like that drawing game where we were drawing the outline of things, but we were not lifting up our pencil. Today, we're not going to worry about lifting up our pencil. We're going to be able to do that. But I need you guys to find a series of objects in your house that you want to be working with. So pick things with an interesting outline. So my objects, today I have a little paper clip. I have a quarter. I have a pair of scissors, a little lotion bottle, a glove, and then like this cool little Jello mold for my kitchen. Okay, so I'm going to use those one at a time. And for your drawing today, you guys can start off with just a regular piece of paper and a pencil. I'm going to use a Sharpie for these videos just so that you guys can see things clearly. So I'm going to be tracing these objects, literally going around the outside, around the contours of all the objects. So I'm going to start off with something that's big, like my glove is probably the biggest object that I have here. And I can put that in the middle, but I always find like it's more interesting if I come in from the side, or even like don't have my object all the way on the paper, have it sort of emerging onto it. I hope I don't get Sharpie on this nice white glove. And you know, we're going to take our time, hold your object down as you trace around it. There's my glove. And now when I start tracing the rest of my objects, I don't want them to be sort of placed separately on the paper. I want to begin overlapping them. Okay. So maybe I'll take my Jello mold and have that sort of coming a little bit on the hand, a little bit off. Hold it in place and trace around it. And this is a really interesting shape I might end up using a few different times. So maybe I'll do it once there. Take my scissors. Do I want it open or closed? I'll do open. And get right up to the edge of that object. That's cool. Whoop, it's sliding around on me. What was the other thing I had? The lotion. Okay, so I had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 objects, right? So I want to continue this. I want to fill up probably at least 3/4 of the page. You can have areas where there's nothing going on, but again, 3/4 of your paper should be filled up. So I'm just going to continue doing this. Okay, so there's all of my contour lines, and you can see I started off tracing realistic, real objects, but what I've come up with is a composition that's abstract. I'm forced to look really closely at this to realize that I have a pair of scissors or a glove. I'm not even really sure what these objects are if I don't know that I trace something like this. Okay, so from here we're going to further our abstraction even more. And what I need you guys to find is a straight edge around your house. So that can be a ruler. It can also be just a piece of paper. I'm going to use the straight edge of my sketchbook. Okay. And I'm going to create 1, 2, 3, 4 lines that go across my paper. So I'll figure out on this small workspace how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to line the top of the sketchbook up with the edge of my paper. That way it's straight. And then again, I'm using a Sharpie. Now your lines don't have to be the same thickness, so long as you fit 4 of them on the paper. And you know what? I'm going to have us all do 5 lines instead of 4. Okay. So from here you have 2 options. If you're someone who has colored pencils or crayons in their house, I want you to add color. If all you have is a pencil, you can do some shading here. Okay. So I'm going to find a black colored pencil just because I feel like that looks very similar to a pencil, which is not near me. I had gotten these twistable colored pencils the other day at the store, and they've been working out really well. Okay, so there's my black. Okay, so you guys, every other line, every other section, you're going to be adding color or adding shading to. Okay, and now you're picking out just abstract shapes. So when I'm looking here, wherever the lines close in around something is an organic shape. So within each of those organic shapes, I want you guys to practice your gradients. So remember, that's that ombre, that sort of galaxy, where you go from dark to light. And again, the black that I'm doing is going to look a lot like the pencil for those of you who are doing that. So each of these shapes that you have need to be shaded. But notice, if I'm starting over here and it's dark and ending up over here where it's light, I want to add dark next to it. Okay, so it's dark here. I don't want to have dark here. I can have dark over here. That way things are still able to stand out. you guys can see I'm almost done with this section. But within each of these organic shapes, you have a side that is dark and a side that is light. Okay, so you want to show that gradient within each of these shapes. Now, if you're someone who's going to use color, it's the same process, but you have more options as far as the way that this is going to look. So you can use as many colors as you want, but we just still want to see that fade. So maybe I'll start off with these three. And again, I'm only coloring or shading every other bar. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one alone and color here. And here I can also do some layering if I want. Right, those nice colored pencil blends. All right, guys, so I'm going to continue working on this. Now, this lesson is not intended for you guys to finish this week. Remember, our art classes are only 40 minutes long. This is more like an hour and a half worth of work. So if at the end of this week, all you have done is your contour lines and your stripes, you're on the right track. Next week, when we meet up again online, I'm just going to show you guys how to finish these up. We're going to finish coloring. And then we're going to start fresh before, right after spring break. Okay. I'd love to continue seeing your posts on Dojo, guys. I know you have those drawing prompts. You can continue working on those if you would like, if you have the time. But from here on out, I'll be providing you with a lesson that I want you to be doing each and every week. Okay. So again, get your drawing done. You don't need to finish your coloring. You'll have time for that next week. Thanks, guys.